So this was a very interesting portion from the Tucker Carlson Vladimir Putin interview.
With the backing of CIA, of course. The organization you wanted to join back in the day, as I understand. We should thank God they didn't let you in. Although, it is a serious organization. I understand.
This, as the situation definitely is getting a little bit crazy, to say the least, as Donald Trump says that the United States is prepared for nuclear war, as now 2 major nuclear submarines have just been moved near Russia, as now people are talking about the possibility of an earthquake weapon being used against the nuclear submarine arsenal of the Russians. What in the world's going on here? As of course, some people are believing that is exactly what just happened with the major earthquake that happened off of the coast of Russia. Is that true here? As of course, the war of words definitely is escalating between these 2 global powers that have been at odds with each other, as Donald Trump definitely is ratcheting up the situation and making some very interesting statements that we want to look at and examine here. As, again, we specifically told you on this broadcast, the situation is only going to get more tumultuous. And that's exactly what happened here. If you appreciate our insight, our ability to actually see things sort of before they happen, as we've been able to be right on the money with a lot of this stuff, subscribe, click the notification button. We always greatly appreciate all of your attention and time that you spend with us. This, as of course, we just got breaking news that Donald Trump declared the United States is fully prepared to engage in a nuclear war with Russia, emphasizing the nation's readiness for any potential conflict. As a lot of people are like, I don't think anyone wins a nuclear war. I think once a nuclear war starts, I think all bets are off. I think all bets are off for the world, especially with nuclear annihilation, as a lot of people are kind of disappointed here. As other people are saying, they still want the Epstein files. And then the meme below here says, release the alien psyop, start a nuclear war with Russia. I'm going to do another alien video. The alien stuff that's popping up right now, super fascinating stuff here. And again, a lot of people are saying, well, this is definitely a drastic escalation here, as Putin's Pacific nuclear submarine base was, quote, damaged by the tsunami wave, which slammed into the docks 15 minutes after 8.8 magnitude earthquake, leaving some people believe that there was an earthquake weapon utilized against the Russians. Now, we'll talk about those capabilities, since the Russians have their own kind of weather modification, natural disaster weaponry at their disposal as well. We'll talk about their capabilities here in a little bit here. But before getting into that, let's just get into the notions, as there has been a big war of words between the former Russian president and now part of the National Security Council of the Russians, Dmitry Medvedev, and Donald Trump, who have been kind of going back and forth at it through social media. As the last kind of declarative statement before Donald Trump responded here was Medvedev hinting about the dead hand, which is another word for the Russian nuclear arsenal that will be triggered if the Russian political class is wiped out. Specifically saying, well, yeah, you could take us out. You could even take out our entire country, but we have systems and protocols that will launch nukes, even if we're not around to launch them in response to you attacking us. Now, Trump is now, this is a big significant escalation here, moving his nuclear submarines and announcing it very publicly after the tweet war that was engaged with the former Russian President Medvedev. As the order comes after presidents angry at the tweet from Dmitry Medvedev, which called Trump's threat to sanction Russia over Ukraine, quote, a step towards war. Now, it's a step towards economic war, and an economic war that we have been involved in for quite a long time. Now, Donald Trump, even in his first administration before this war kicked off, has been shown to be very bullish against the Russians, as, of course, there was a whole Russia hoax psyop that was engaged in the first year of his first term as president of the United States. And then as president of the United States during his first term, he was the one who gave lethal weapons to Ukraine before this war actually kicked off. He bragged about how Obama was too scared to do it. I did it. and now his foreign policy is, I guess he's trying to do the madman doctrine, which for some people, they're saying it's brilliant, perfect, amazing, incredible. Other people are saying it's a little reckless. It's a little crazy. It's a little wild. Can we not talk about ending the world many times over? Like, why are we a civilization of people that have the capabilities of just destroying each other and then brag and then frickin' bluff and tell each other we're going to do this all the time? As a human living on this earth, I'd prefer not to do that. That's just me. I don't know about you. Now, whether this madman doctrine, which I think Donald Trump is implementing here, whether it will work or not, we're going to see. But right now, it could go very bad very fast in a way and in a situation where there's no going back from it. And when there's no going back from it, when there's no end in sight, after you step over that balance, things get really bad here. As of course, there's some interesting news with India. Donald Trump just made some statements. Before playing all that, we wanted to tell you about wearechange.shop, where you can get great supplements like creatine. I have some here. I brought some here. Look at that. You think it's easy traveling with this? It's not. But I'm like, you know what? Creatine is so good for me. I feel so amazing. My brain feels unleashed to its fullest potential with creatine. I was like, you know what? Yeah, I'll make it look as suspicious as I can, because you know what? There's no other way to really kind of transfer it. Like, I don't want to travel with a big jug here. You can get your jug, though, a 2-month supply of creatine on wearechange.shop for $53. We sourced it from Germany. A lot of people don't want to tell you where they sourced it from. We sourced it. Listen, you could either get it from China, and you get fake filler stuff, or you could get it from Germany, the purest, best stuff on the market. Okay? That's how you just get creatine. That's the secret. We got it from Germany. We get it from Germany. We ship it from Germany. And we got the best stuff on the market out there. It's really awesome. It's really great. I did a lot of research. I did a lot of homework. And I started to use myself as a little guinea pig here. And the studies, specifically with the brain, fascinating. And again, a lot of these studies are just new and they're all coming out. But especially when it comes to women's ovaries health, women's mental health. But when it comes to focus, when it comes to memory, when it comes to like sleeping, I personally have gotten huge results off of creatine. But that's just me. You're your own individual person. You should do your own homework and research before putting anything into your body. But I love creatine because it is the game changer. It is some of the best stuff on the market. And I'm super proud of it. And I put my name behind it. And I tell all my loved ones and family members, you got to get some creatine. You got to do it. And it's super amazing and incredible for you. Wearechange.shop. Click the link and support yourself and support us. Now, before this heated war of words and the moving of a nuclear arsenal, an alleged attack on, once again, Russia's nuclear arsenal, Donald Trump talked about, hey, Russia's kind of immune to sanctions. Why? Because they're working with other countries like Iran, India, China, and other BRICS nations. Donald Trump now is saying, we're going to sanction those nations. We're going to sanction India. India is one of the biggest kind of trading partners of Russia now, as they're able to get a lot of their energy cheap. India, we're getting reports. They're coming out, according to the New York Times. They're like, yeah, we're going to keep buying Russian oil. We don't care about Trump's threats here, which is a major setback against Donald Trump here, who just declared this a few minutes ago, which is crazy. This is crazy. This is a madman doctrine to the fullest extent. And we're playing with fire here. That's the only way to really explain it. We're playing with fire on top of fireworks. That's the madman doctrine.
Medvedev say to you that made you really mad?
Well, you just have to read what he said. He was talking about nuclear. When you talk about nuclear, we have to be prepared, and we're totally prepared.
That's what Donald Trump said after issuing his kind of ultimatum statement, saying, you know what, Medvedev said this, I am sending the nuclear arsenal out right on the Russian border, which is a huge threat against Russia. Now, Vladimir Putin's response to Donald Trump comes with him saying he's disappointed. Here's what he said here. As for any disappointment on anyone's part, all disappointment arises from excess expectations. This is a well-known general rule, but in order to approach the issue in a peaceful manner, it is necessary to have a detailed conversation, and not in public, But this must be done calmly, in silence of a negotiation process. And it is for this reason that we propose to create 3 groups that you were mentioned. And then he was talking about the different groups that are a part of the negotiations, that are failing, that are not getting anything done, and it's hard-headed Slavic people. Like the Ukrainians are hard-headed Slavic people. Putin is a hard-headed Slavic person as well. FSB, KGB, yeah, he's a guy that doesn't mix words here. As you can see, he's very careful here. As even major accounts are going on social media talking about World War III? Question mark. As Russia tells Trump to calm down after Trump flexed by ordering 2 U.S. nuclear subs into position over former Russian President Medvedev's latest meltdown. Moscow barely blinked. Viktor Vodolsky, a senior Russian lawmaker, shrugged it off, saying, "Those subs have been in the crosshairs for a long time." He said no Russian response is needed because they already control the waters Trump is targeting. Vodolsky called for diplomacy instead of escalations, warning that the whole world needs to calm down and stop talking about World War III. I would agree. I think that's a great idea. I don't know about you, but I like that idea. As pro-Russian accounts are talking about how Medvedev trolled Trump, so he deployed nuclear subs. Again, that's pretty crazy. That's pretty insane here, as Donald Trump declared this on Truth Social. It's just wild that we're getting all this kind of like developments through social media accounts. This is just a weird type of scenario and situation that we're dealing with. As of course, we have another major update from Donald Trump on Truth Social. Thomas Massey responded to it by, "Can we stop funding it?" Talking about the war in Ukraine. That'd be nice. With all the debt we're in, with all the entanglements that we're in, can we not make this our fight? Can we try to de-escalate on all sides? And I think in the beginning, Donald Trump actually tried to do that. It failed. It didn't work here. So I guess we're going with the madman doctrine, which is literally playing with fire, playing with matches, kerosene, a whole bunch of gasoline around you on top of fireworks, and you're like, choop, choop. I could do it. I could do it. You want me to do? Choop, choop. You want? What? And I'm like, why? Personally, I'm not too comfortable with this because I think there's other diplomatic, geopolitical kind of resolutions that could be done here. Personally, I think, a failure of diplomacy is a failure of the state, and the states have been total failures. All sides, everywhere, all around. Like, we should be itching closer towards peace. We should be doing everything in our power to try to achieve peace diplomatically, through resolution, through being able to have some concessions. The Russians give up some concessions, the Americans give up some concessions, the Europeans give up some concessions, the Ukrainians give up some concessions. The people are like, no, the Ukrainians, no concessions. And that's the situation that we're involved in. Like, no concessions. Yeah. I'm like, can we just move on? Can we just make money? Can we just do business? Like, the Russians have so much natural resources. And if there was peace, now again, geopolitically, the history there is bad too. And history rhymes. And we're not in a good place, historically speaking. If you look at what was happening about 100 years from now, it's not good. Donald Trump announced, I have just been informed that almost 20,000 Russian soldiers died this month in this ridiculous war with Ukraine. Russia has lost 112,500 soldiers since the beginning of this year. That is a lot of unnecessary death. Ukraine, however, has also suffered greatly. They have lost approximately 8,000 soldiers since January 1st. Listen, I look at the war reports, and I look at the frontline reports, and I look at the kind of way that this battle and conflict is unfolding here. Two things are happening. Donald Trump's lying, or he's being grossly misinformed. The people who are grossly misinforming here are probably the people lying and trying to get him entangled into war. Either way, this right here, when we're playing with the madman doctrine, and you're playing with a card that isn't what you think it is, Bad start. Bad start. So either Donald Trump is lying, which is not good, or Donald Trump is being lied to and being misinformed and then passing on that propaganda to everybody. Not good either way. Not a good sign. Those numbers just don't add up. They don't make sense. They just don't. They don't. Especially with the drone-on-drone type of warfare, the battlefields, and how they have been unfolding here. Donald Trump goes on. And that number does not include their missing. Oh, yeah, okay. I just don't buy that. Listen, I'm not a pro-Russian guy. I don't like Russia. I'm Polish. I just don't buy this. And there's been a lot of propaganda like this throughout this entire war that has been absolutely false, and it's been disinformation, and it's been disingenuous and actually absolutely horrible for the people of Ukraine that are being lied to and sold a bunch of lies and being sold down the river while we're being told to celebrate these like PR victories that are nonsensical. Donald Trump goes on. Ukraine has also lost civilians, but in small numbers, as Russian rockets crash into Kiev and other Ukrainian locales. This is a war that should have never happened. This is Biden's war, not Trump's. I'm just here to see if I can stop it. Already kind of obfuscation, yeah, but you're the one who gave lethal weapons. You said you would end it on day one. And again, I never expected him to end it on day one. But again, this kind of claim here, and a lot of people are mentioning it, be like, really? That's not a good sign here. Donald Trump also made other statements to the press just a few minutes ago, as he said this.
The nuclear submarine. Oh, yeah. Well, we had to do that. We just have to be careful. And a threat was made, and we didn't think it was appropriate, so I have to be very careful. So I do that on the basis of safety for our people. A threat was made by a former president of Russia, and we're going to protect our people.
No one's protected in case of a nuclear war. Now, Russian President Vladimir Putin warned I think this was 2 years ago. I don't know exactly. This is not now. He says it's not a bluff, and he said he would use nuclear weapons to defend Russia and its people. So very similar statements from both of them. There's a lot of other people being like, Biden sent nuclear, and Biden did this in 2023. Biden sent nuclear submarines to South Korea as a deterrent to North Korea. This is unnecessary escalation. It will bring us closer to nuclear war. God help us. That same person now. President Trump says the U.S. is prepared for nuclear war. As terrifying as that sounds, being prepared for it is how you keep peace. No. I just disagree here. I just flatly disagree here. Matt Gaetz responded to this by saying, Russia, we don't seek war with you, but stop with the effing nuclear talk or else. Now, there are people now that are talking about how this latest earthquake off of the coast of Russia was actually a U.S. advanced natural disaster weapon type of system. Now, the Russians have this. They have a tsunami weapon. Now, their tsunami weapon threatened, and they have even done illustrations talking about how they could set off a nuclear explosion under the ocean in order to flood all of the United Kingdom. That's the capabilities that they have, that they brag about, that they talk about. Now, if the Russians have that, what do we have? We probably have some more advanced crazy stuff. Let's just be real with ourselves. Do we have the capabilities to create earthquakes? I wouldn't be surprised if we did, and we probably do. Now, the United States with Ukraine, and this is a total U.S. intelligence job, just like they did in Iran, did a secret sabotage drone truck attack on Russia's nuclear arsenal. It wasn't just the Ukrainians. They used advanced tech, advanced drones, satellite technology, information, spy tech from the Americans, and they launched this type of surprise attack on Russia's nuclear arsenal. Then we bombed Iran's nuclear arsenal. It wouldn't be a surprise if we now did an earthquake in order to go after Russia's nuclear submarines. Now, the damage that we're hearing about, I mean, usually countries don't report their damage, but there was a small kind of tsunami. It wasn't even that major. So I think we have to take everything with a grain of salt. But do we know for a fact that this happened? No, we do not. What really did go, like, was there a call? Did Trump call Putin and be like, look, you're going to hear an earthquake in a few minutes. We're going to do it. We're going to do more stuff if you don't stop. Do I see something like that potentially happening? Maybe. Listen, all possibilities are now plausible in this type of form of conflict. As, of course, we have a lot of people sharing this video right now, talking about this particular situation, trying to explain how this could have been a sabotage attack. And again, I don't have proof that it was. But with the way that things are going and the way that things are escalating severely, it wouldn't surprise me if this was the potential case here.
Возможно, землетрясение на
Perhaps
Камчатке.
the earthquake on Kamchatka is the result of the use of seismic weapons by the United States. I'm going to keep reading here. They put forward a 10-day ultimatum, and immediately after there was an earthquake, the nuclear submarine base was damaged on Kamchatka. They say that the radiation levels is normal there, but it was a blow to our nuclear triad. How many victims there, we will find out either decades from now or never. Perhaps the earthquake on the... And again, we don't know if this is true. This is Oleg Tartasov saying. And again, there's going to be a lot of wild theories here of what people believe here. We do not know. I think we will know maybe a few decades from now, if ever. And if the planet still remains and isn't blown up to smithereens. As again, the Russians, and again, I told you this was going to happen. I was like, Trump's threatening the Russians in a very hard-headed, egotistical type of way. The Russians are very hard-headed and egotistical. I don't see Putin backing down here to Trump's kind of ultimatum and Trump's statements publicly. And he didn't. And they are not swayed. And the Indians aren't swayed either. Now, there's other things that Putin said. I'm gonna continue this video because I should just do a focus on Putin and his mindset here and what they're doing and what they're kind of saying, because they're saying a lot of different stuff, specifically with their larger kind of aspirations here that they just recently talked about as well that are kind of eye-opening. So for those videos, subscribe, click the notification button. Thank you for everybody getting some creatine and starting their own individual health journey. Trust me, once you get on it, man, it's incredible to feel good. Literally, I woke up, did a nature hike as soon as I woke up. I got some like local berries from the local farm here. Life is great here in Poland if we don't get blown up. I love you guys. I'm going to take some creatine right now. I love you guys. Stay tuned for more. All here exclusively on youtube.com/wearechange.